You're probably asking yourself, why would someone be making a video about beating the godfather of Foddy games, getting over it, in 2025? I mean, it's a solved game, and was released pre-COVID and reached the height of its popularity almost a whole decade ago. Also, who are you? And why is your background an image of Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy? These are all really good questions, and I'm glad you asked. The thing is, I am what boomers would call a noob, or what you would call absolute dog water. Simply put, I am unbelievably bad at gaming. And I don't mean throwing for content bad, I am just straight, unadulterated, I need to look down at my hotkeys to make a play, trash. The problem is, I am an actual non-gamer, so jumping into the online multiplayer space seemed a little bit daunting, as I didn't want to be just another kill for some player to pad their stats with. On top of that, I'd always wanted to try streaming, and now had the opportunity to do so, but with absolutely no idea what to play on stream. Until I came across this video by a middle-aged French-American streamer named Ludwig. You see, French Fries over here garnered a bit of a name for himself, being a so-called bad gamer who would purposefully play rage games on stream and sometimes spend hours or even days trying to beat them. These games are referred to as Foddy games, a term popularized by said Ludwig and coined in reference to Bennett Foddy, the creator behind the very game this video is about, Getting Over It. Ludwig has beaten Getting Over It and many other Foddy games so many times that he decided to create a custom challenge where he would attempt to speedrun a handful of these Foddy games within a specified time limit, titled The God Gamer Gauntlet. The part that really tickled my mind pickle was when the mid to late 30-year-old Lundgren said this.
The thing about me, chat, is my entire existence is built around protecting my fragile, weak little ego. And I can no longer protect it by being good at this game because even simpletons like Squeaks are better than me at this game. And so I've retreated to the farthest corners of my mind, aka the God Gamer Gauntlet, when I beat this, Jump King, Pogo Stuck, and Getting Over It back to back to back to back in less than an hour. After doing that, I'm good. Like that is where I've retreated and taken my talents to. And nobody's gonna front me on that because nobody wants to waste their time playing all those games. And that's how I keep my beating ego alive.
Well, language, that's where you're wrong, because this nobody is both dumb enough and filled with enough self-loathing that he's willing to waste all of his time to come after your title. Why, you ask? Because you are a fake, a phony, an insult to the very title of ass at video games. And to put it in terms that you would understand, let's just say there are a few things I have in common with your good friend Mario. We're both 5'1", in our mid to late 20s, and we only punch up. You're literally Ludwig from video games. You have all the time, resources, and gaming setups to be good at video games, yet you still appropriate my culture and proclaim the title of bad gamer. And I took that personally, because if someone with all the resources you have is somehow still as bad at video games as you are, then a non-gamer like me could easily strip you of all your so-called gaming accolades, and I'm coming for the big one, the title of God Gamer. But in order to do that, I need to first, you know, beat the games, which I've never even played. So I decided to start my journey with the game that started it all, the first domino that fell. Fueled by my one-sided rivalry with French Fry, I decided that I would beat the game in a single sitting, prompting the idea that I would go live and not end my stream until I beat the game, because how hard could it really be, right? I was so confident that I'd be able to beat this game in a single stream that I decided to start off my stream by first creating a profile in Arena Breakout Infinite and playing it for almost 3 whole hours. Once I launched Getting Over It, my dumbass genuinely thought I would be able to beat the game within an hour or 2, maybe 3, tops. I can do this. I can do this in like an hour, right?
You dumbass.
Boy, was I wrong. What followed is what can only be described as the downward spiral of an idiot's mental stability, as his confidence was being exposed as nothing but pure, unbridled, brain-dead arrogance. Just can you fucking not? No. I'm literally going down. Fuck's sake, I don't get it. I'm panicking. See, how do I do that? Go for it. Fuck you, man. No, you fucking idiot. So you suck at games. There we go. So we have to drag. Oh, it's that fucking orange. It's that. fuck you, 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 fuck you. Oh, great. Motherfucker. No, that's not what you want to do, you dumbass. Okay, mouse reset and jump.
In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't.
Nope. Fuck. No, fuck. Can we stop? Am I that bad? Not fuck. Oh, great. Why don't we go all the way down? I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. That's the wrong direction. And it just moved where I want. There. What the fuck happened? Move the whole way. What, why? Why did you do that? Just. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck. No, fuck. Fuck. Why did I do... No. No, fuck, you stupid son of a... I might call it at midnight. I don't know. By around the 2 hour and 20-minute mark, I had started contemplating waving the old cracker flag and abandoning my streaming challenge. Being tired, alone, and proverbially sucking at yet another video game, I had started to feel a bit defeated. See, completing a challenge like this is already a gargantuan task on its own, but I had overlooked a very obvious but similarly difficult obstacle I also had to overcome: streaming to absolutely nobody. As what might be evident to you by not knowing who the heck I am, I don't have a chat community yet that can interact with me and keep me going every time I inevitably get buff-tucked by the deplorable war crime human rights violation of a creation that is the orange section. I only just started streaming, and a big part of what is challenging during this phase is that I am essentially practicing to fill dead space by, well, you guessed it, talking to myself like a madman. I'm not gonna lose my mind, you are. To be fair, I am a bit of a yapper. So much so that I could probably spend a full hour talking to someone without ever even realizing they haven't said anything back the whole time. I could probably just as well have been talking to a wall, which is perfect for streaming, right? Well, yes, but not when talking to yourself like an insane person gets supplemented with you actually going insane as you keep attempting the same section again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I was all but ready to hang up the mouse, but lucky for me, as over it as I may have been, I am just the right amount of competitive as I am masochistic. I decide to give it a few more tries because even though I might not have the necessary skill set to intentionally throw for content, you can be damn sure that I'll do it for the meme. Nope. Man. And we just... No, you stupid mother... Nope. Nope. That's a bounce. No! I am not. No. No. Oh my... I can't anymore. I don't know what the fuck I just did there. I think I got this. Let's just try and eat, pray, love. That's the opposite of that. Suffer. No. Stop. No, that is not. No. Please use very. The opposite. No. Actually. What the? Just get your swing. Wow. Oh. No, please. No. Side. No, fucking moron. You absolute useless moron. I don't get it. After another hour plus of grinding, I had reached my second crossroads. Depleted of energy, motivation, and whatever second-rate papier-mâché was keeping my mind together, the adrenaline buff had left my bloodstream along with the sugar-free Red Bull and my will to live. I had fallen into a hole that just felt too impossible to get out of. Both in-game at the Cancer Cliff of Citrus Cove, and this, well, metaphorical hole. Pause. I knew I had to get out of this hole because giving up would just mean waving the white flag at an autocratic, soon-to-be pensionary Frenchman. Which would be ironic, but at my expense. which is the worst type of irony. In order to escape this hole, I felt like I needed some kind of hack to close my skill gap. Like, I don't know, a miracle, or a buff, or a loop. At this point in time, I was ready to end way more than just my stream, when out of nowhere, my first real stream chatter popped up. Loop 4321. Rattled at the sign of life in the barren wasteland that was my chat, I lean over to read the message, and as an appropriate foreshadowing for what was to come, the very first chat Loop sends was this. Have you tried trackpad tuning? Okay, so after more than 4 hours of struggling my useless ass off, the very first tip Loop gives solves one of the biggest problems I had been struggling with. I suddenly felt my cursor movement be more intentional, smooth, and less chaotic. This newfound precision and much needed moral support gave me a sudden boost, like I had caught my second win. And the best part of it all? This random chatter who by chance ended up popping into my stream like a wise old sage that was summoned by the video game gods to aid this non-gamer into the realm of victory and not sucking ass as much, was like, chill. And I mean, really chill. Not to sound too wishy-washy, but after finally deciding to put myself out there on stream, essentially publicly humiliating myself with the hopes of entertaining, I expected most interactions to be, you know, mean. People love watching other people suffer, hence me leaning into rage games as someone who sucks at games. But Loop was unexpectedly kind and quite chill to hang out with on stream, which was a pleasant and welcome surprise. So, shout out Loop. Now with a personal coach by my side who had completed getting over it over 100 times with a speedrunning time between 5 to 7 minutes, I felt unstoppable. But there was still a massive mountain to climb. After adjusting to the new cursor calibration, I was feeling confident in conquering the orange section that had been the bane of my existence, and driving force behind thoughts of ending my IRL stream of consciousness. It became my only goal. Conquer the orange cliff and you would have made it further than you had ever been in-game. Hell, I wasn't even sure how far that would make me progress-wise, but I couldn't have cared less. I was probably about 8.5 hours into stream at this point, and I thought that if I could not beat the game in a single sitting, I would at the very least not rest until I had defeated the one stage that had caused me what felt like eternal suffering. So Loop and I gave it a few tries, discussing strats and Loop guiding me on some obvious but nuanced to me game mechanics. Truthfully, I did get kind of caught up in some yapping instead of locking in hard on the game, as I'd felt a sense of accomplishment having my first real chatter live on stream, which took a weight off my shoulder that led to me being way more relaxed and less of a tilted borderline rage quitter. My heart rate had slowed down and my intensity along with it, with the actual game taking a bit of a backseat to Loop and my conversation. Until this happened. What do I have to lose? Right. Loop. I was starting to panic, but thankfully I had Loop as my getting over it guru who was able to keep me calm with his wise words of, well, wisdom. Hold. Thanks to Loop's impeccably quick wit, I was able to gather myself, reset, and decided to absolutely send it. Okay. Okay, grab and pull, and... Oh my god. Thank you. My spacebar is broken. Sorry. Don't apologize. You just got me here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I did it. I finally did it. After 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 51 seconds of playing this purgatory by mouse movement of a game, I finally conquered the orange section. Well, actually, we did. If not for Loop showing up like a literal plot device in robes, I might have still been stuck at that very same section today, having ended my stream early and leaving my clickbait stream title as nothing more than just that. Clickbait.
But Stan...
Which is apparently your name.
Wouldn't the title of this video and of your stream be clickbait anyway? I mean, this whole video has basically just been a video about getting over the orange section.
and not about After finally conquering what felt like my magnum opus, I felt even though I contemplated ending it here as I felt like getting over the orange section was enough, I had just gotten a taste for victory. So after milling it over with Coach Loop, we decided to go for the full thing. Despite being 8 hours and 45 minutes into the stream, Loop and I knew it would be a missed opportunity not to go for it. What followed was a few more hours of grinding through section by section and honestly just outright dominating them. After what felt like a never-ending cycle of failures, the rest of the sections just felt like an afterthought compared to the orange section. Sure, there were a few close calls, but yet again, almost naturally, the game became a backdrop like Subway Surfer to a TikTok video for endless conversations between Loop and I just shooting the shit. We discussed everything from game recommendations to cultural differences, censorship, politics, philosophy. Heck, I even gave Loop some classic unsolicited unk advice, which was also accompanied by my full work-life story. Yeah, sorry about that, Loop. At one point I even got raided for the first time by another random streamer who happened to have just played Getting Over It on stream too, and now had a group of people to interact with. Shout out to TheBigCheese, by the way. What had started off as a stream that I assumed would be me talking into a void whilst attempting to beat a game that only 8% of its players had ever beaten, turned into this like weirdly wholesome but rewarding first major streaming experience that made me, even for a moment, feel like an actual streamer. Eventually, BigCheese and his chatters hopped off, but it would be remiss of me not to mention just how kind and supportive everyone was that popped in. Sincerely, thank you. Before leaving my chat, BigCheese had only one request, so as such, I promised BigCheese that I would pass his kindness forward as requested. So the next time I do have a stream and I happen to have a few people watching, I will be seeking out a smaller streamer and raiding their stream too. Shortly after, Loop and I were starting to wind down, as I think they knew the end was near even though I was unaware. Before I knew it, we were basically done. After one more slight scare and one more trackpad tuning adjusted pogo, we were floating amongst the stars at 0 gravity, slowly drifting up, with a sense of weightlessness overcoming my mind as the weight on my shoulders from this once seemingly impossible challenge slowly started to alleviate. And that, chat, is how I was finally allowed to end my stream by beating Getting Over It, after finding a loophole.
Time. Should I time now or time? Like time.
Loop, to us, can I cook? Yeah, that's what you want to hear. Thank you. Cheers from Cape Town, South Africa. That first sip is just the best. That felt like an ad sponsor.